Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bible Heroes with Pastor Jason, the show where we interview heroes from the Bible. Today's special guest, we have Noah. Noah, thank you for being here today with us.
Yes, thank you. It's good to be here. Of course, at my age, it's good to be anywhere.
I understand. So we're going to talk about your time on the ark. It's a famous Bible story found in Genesis chapters 6 through 9, roughly. So what possessed you to start building a boat in your backyard when you live basically in a desert?
Well, let me tell you, it all started because God told me to build this huge boat. And the neighbors started making fun of me, of course, because I do live in the middle of the desert. And I started to build a big old boat right behind my house.
So God told you what to build and how to build it?
He gave me the exact dimensions to build this boat, and I did exactly what God said. Unfortunately, God did not invent Lowe's or Home Depot yet. So it was a really tough job. And we worked. I have 3 sons, and we worked, and we worked, and we worked, and we worked, and we worked. And then we worked.
Took a long time to build?
Oh, you have no idea. So finally we had the ark built. And all my neighbors again thought I was crazy. People came from miles around to see the crazy old man in his boat. Because you see, on the earth it had never rained before.
What you talking about, Noah?
I'm talking about on the earth up until this time, God let water come up from the ground. It had never rained. But God told me He was going to send rain and cause a flood. Because basically, the human race needed to hit the reset button.
Understood. Okay, so you built the ark. So then what happened?
Well, we got the boat built, and I'm sitting in my bamboo chair in the living room, looking at the side of the wall, because again, we don't have TV. And I was so exhausted. And I thought, wow, God, thank you for giving me the strength to build this boat. It took a long time to do. And I just felt so good about getting the work of God done. Then God said, go get 2 of every animal on the earth. Can you believe what kind of a zoo that was? You see that raccoon we just saw? Add 1 more of those, a couple of lions, a couple of hippos, some snakes, and you got a full-fledged circus.
But that took a long time too.
Oh, it sure did. And it was no fun. But we finally got all the animals together. We got all the means to feed them loaded up. My family got on the ark. And because God told us to get on the boat, and then we waited.
What happened next?
Well, let me tell you, it started to rain. And it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. 40 days and nights it rained. Now, I know here at Murphytown not too long ago, it rained for an evening and we had a flood, right? Imagine 40 straight days and nights of that. Nothing but water everywhere.
I can see where that could be a problem.
40 straight days of rain, and then, before you know it, the ark. Oh. I'm old, man. Give me a break. So, the ark was floating around, and there was nothing else left on the earth. Nothing but water. Water was everywhere.
Tell me how that was like. How was your life on the boat?
Well, first of all, it was up and down, forward, back, side to side, all the time. It just never stopped, man.
Did you ever get seasick?
I just threw up in my mouth thinking about it. It was the most seasick I've ever been. I turned 14 shades of green.
I bet. That had to be tough.
But that wasn't the worst part.
It wasn't?
Not even close. Every morning, we would get up and feed the animals. Every afternoon, we would water the animals. Every evening, we would take shovels and clean out the animal pens, shoveling manure for hours. Every day. Wow, that does sound rough. So how long did this last? How long did this last? Well, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, but it took 150 days to get the water off the earth. So that was a long time to be on a boat filled with animals, my sons, and my lovely wife. We didn't get tired of each other at all, trust me. Everyone's stuck on a boat. There's only so many board games of Monopoly you can play before you're about ready to be at everyone's throat. You can understand, it had to get boring after a while. Oh, it did. But you know what? God saw us through it all. That's good, Noah. Absolutely. He was right there with us. And had God not told me how to build the boat and showed me what to do and put us on it, we would have drowned just like everything and everybody else. So God really blessed our family. He sure did. So, so you're out there in the ark. You're out there floating around. Oh, I'm getting seasick again just thinking about it. I'm sorry. So you're out there on the boat. You're floating around. Well, what happened? Well, I had this idea one day. We're out there floating, and all I can see is water in front of me, behind me, every which way. Nothing but water everywhere. So I decided to send out a dove. And I sent the dove out, and later that evening, it came back. Not a good sign. I guess not. So you could tell that water was still everywhere? Absolutely. So I waited 7 days, then I sent the dove out again. Well, what happened this time? This time it brought back an olive branch, so I knew the water was coming down and we were about ready to get off this animal floating circus. Oh, good. So what'd you do next? Well, after 7 days went past that point, then I sent it out the dove again, and guess what? What's that? It never came back, and I knew we had some dry land somewhere. So we're floating around, and there I see it, land ho! So we landed, and the first thing I did was get off the boat. I was so tired of being on that boat. But we get off, and I'm like, kissing the ground. Then I built an altar, and we worshiped the Lord for taking care of us through this major flood. And do you know what he did? I, Noah, was the first person to see a rainbow. That's right. Anyone ever seen a rainbow? Cool, cool. Yeah. We've all seen rainbows. I saw the first one. And God told me that that rainbow would be a sign of his covenant with his people, that he would never flood the earth again.
That's not true.
Hello.
Actually, I was there, man. It is true.
There you are.
Hello.
Maybe he was. He's 150 years old. No, I was talking about you, Dad.
Don't you love having TV shows with a live studio audience?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, we love it. Anyway, so
Not TV.
So we built the altar, and the Lord gave us the rainbow, and then he set us free to go and multiply and fill the earth up again, and all the animals were free as well, and we all lived happily ever after. What an amazing story. Oh, it was amazing, all right, but still to this day, when I stand still, I can still feel like I'm rocking on the boat. I bet so, no. Well, thank you for coming today. Thank you for being here on the show. Oh, yeah, like I said, when you get my age, it's just fun to be anywhere at this point. I understand, I get it.
Dad, did any of the animals ever get out?
Well, let me tell you, one time a cheetah got loose, and it ran really fast, and it was hard to catch. So I had to set what I did is I hid behind the door and put my wife out there with a string of meat around her neck. And when the cheetah ran forward, I jumped out, and I tackled it and got it back in its cage. There was some crazy times out there. All right, thank you. All right.